Hello, thank you for coming to the recording of Discover Touchless Printing with QR Codes, brought to you by Faro Systems International. I'm Christina Laniak. I am the outside sales representative for the Southeast region, and I am here to talk a little bit about how our world has gone contactless pretty much in every way possible. During this webinar, we kind of discussed how in the wake of COVID-19, contactless, touchless, and QR code methods have become the new normal. The CDC's guidelines are, whenever leaving your home, try to use contactless methods whenever possible. And I think we really do. We had a polling question go up during the webinar that was, check off some of the new norms for you, whether it's, pick up delivery of groceries, remote learning, remote meetings, pretty much remote everything, telehealth appointments, contactless payments, whether it's Venmo or PayPal or whatever we're using, everything has kind of gone contactless or touchless. And, while we realize, our print methods, sometimes it's often forgotten that this can be a big deal. We go to the printer 3 to 5 times per day, whether we're on campus or in the office. And do we really want to be touching that screen along with everyone else? And we're finding that a lot of people have been asking for this touchless print method. So we're going to kind of show you through our eyes what that touchless method looks like with Faro systems. And, we do want to hear feedback from you and see, are we on the right track? If this solution was free, was this something you'd want to implement and put into your environment? So we're going to our solutions architect, John Janikowski, is going to go through some slides, and he's going to kind of talk through our touchless methods for our Uniprint product, our Blueprint product, as well as our cloud solution, and he'll do a little demo of our Beacon mobile print. So if you want to take a look at that, John, go ahead and take it away and show us our touchless methods for Faro systems.
Let's see if you guys, can you see my presentation as well now as well?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
We can.
Okay. So there are different ways to handle touchless printing in the environment, whether we're using QR codes or not. We have solutions today in both Uniprint and Blueprint by way of the Print Center. It's a web interface. You can use that to act as kind of a release station. So it's a web-based release station in that sense. Users can log into that interface, they can select their print jobs, they can deliver them to a printer, but it goes away from the tenets of secure printing in that the user doesn't necessarily have to be in front of the device to get that job. So a lot of the savings that are attributed to a secure release are really focused on eliminating tray trash and people abandoning print jobs. So we want them to be at the printer, both for the environmental aspect of abandoning print, but also for the security aspect of being able to have physical control over that print output as it comes out. So QR code is a kind of a novel approach that allows us to leverage something that can be physically at the printer. We can affix a QR code to a printer. It also has a benefit that it can kind of enhance the user experience. They don't have to know the name of the printer. They don't have to search for the printer through a list. The QR code represents what that printer is, and so simply by scanning the QR code, they can identify which printer they're at, and now we know who the user is, which printer they're at, and we can release their jobs for them. So QR code started in Beacon, but we've kind of migrated this technology into our on-premise products for both Uniprint and Blueprint. The Uniprint and Blueprint QR features are upcoming, so we had to change our iOS and our Android apps, and they're both in the respective app stores right now being certified. So as soon as that certification comes through, this functionality will be available within these products. So the workflow, I'll start with the Uniprint side of things. We're leveraging the Print Center interface on a mobile device. So historically, if you've ever used our Android app, or if you've ever gone to Print Center on a mobile device in a mobile browser, you've kind of seen this view or this interface of Print Center. The iOS app was always a little different, just in the look and feel, how it operated. So that's actually a big change as part of this QR release update. Essentially, the apps, whether they're iOS or Android, or whether you're going to a mobile browser, you're going to get a consistent experience across those now.
John?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Are you advancing your slides?
I thought so. There we go.
Okay, perfect.
It advanced on my side, but not on, I guess, not on my shared screen. There, thank you for that. This is what the interface looks like today on an Android device or on a mobile browser interface. This is also what it will look like in this this iOS app that's to be released in the App Store. But there's one small change to the interface, and that's the addition of this QR release option that we can enable administratively within the application. So as a administrator in Print Center, you have the admin options at the top of Print Center. You'll then have the ability to generate QR codes for all of the printers. There's a little bit of customization that can be applied here as well, where you can set like maybe a custom logo. Then there's 2 different label lines that can be applied to maybe give a name or a description of the printer. And these are 2x4 template labels, so you can print them out on Avery stock, print out a QR code for each device, and then simply affix them to the printer. From a user perspective, they're going to have the Pharos app on their phone. They'll download that from the respective app store, and then as they've signed into the app with whatever respective authentication they're going to use to get into that interface, it's going to ask them for permission to use the camera. If they grant that permission, then they can also then now use that QR release functionality. You'll see here they've also enabled the manual printer selection at the bottom. You can turn on or off either of these functions. So if you want to disable QR release, you can. If you want to disable manual selection of the printer, you can. And the idea, it really is, I see a list of my print jobs in Print Center. I can see on the Uniprint side, I can see how much that job costs and maybe how much funds I have available to be able to pay for that print job. And then I'm going to select my QR code option. It's going to prompt me to scan the QR code. I'm going to scan the QR code that's printed out on the printer, and it's going to give me a confirmation box. So this is the real key, I think, on the Uniprint side compared to the workflow that we would see on the Beacon Cloud side is we want to make sure that the user has the funds to pay for that job, especially in a cost recovery scenario where we're recouping all of the costs of print. We don't want it to be a surprise to a user if they're trying to print a $10 document and they only have $1 available in their funds or something along those lines. Make that visible to the end user and get that confirmation. And then from there, the job essentially just starts printing. So there's no interaction with the printer screen itself. There's no reason to tap your badge or log in or do anything to unlock the device. It's just scanning that QR code to identify the printer and being able to retrieve your job from the device with no interaction. I'm going to switch over to Blueprint now. Blueprint's a very similar workflow. Again, the almost identical app in that sense of we have the Pharos print app. We're going to connect to the Blueprint connection. We see a very similar interface in this sense as well. We have the same option of being able to choose that QR release mechanism, going up to a device, scanning the QR code. And then we do get a confirmation box here, but in the Blueprint side of things, there isn't the concept of a user having a balance. So we don't need to display that to the user. We just want to let them know they chose to release one document, it's 4 pages, and they hit the confirm button, and that job is firing off. That is pretty much it in a nutshell as far as the on-premise products that we have for being able to touchless leverage a QR code to be able to release a print job with no interaction with the printer itself. So The beacon side of things is a little bit different, and I'm going to try to go through that here. I had a little issue with my demo this morning. I think I'm going to be able to get through it now. So we'll give it a shot here, and we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. Let me stop my slideshow. And then I need to fire up Reflector so you guys can see my phone. Okay, can you guys see my phone screen okay?
We can, John.
Yep. All right. So on the beacon side of things, we have a different app. It's called the Century Print app. You'll see it down here in the bottom corner. And the idea with Beacon is the QR release mechanism is just another means of releasing print jobs from the system. So we have the SR25 units that you can affix to the devices. We have the embedded solution where you can use the on-screen keyboard of the device or the proximity badge to release jobs. And then QR release is just a third mechanism of being able to release jobs. There's my wife and daughter. So the QR mechanism, it can be a standalone release mechanism for Beacon. We offer it just as kind of the baseline Century Print experience, being able to release a job using a QR code, and then enhancing that further with the embedded option or the SR25, the Century unit as well on top of that. But we'll walk through the QR workflow here. There's a couple of pieces to this. So I have my phone, it's just an iOS device. I have the Century Print app installed on that phone. And then I also have a Print Scout installed to my workstation. The Print Scout is something that gives me the ability to submit print jobs into the system. I can also submit jobs directly from my iOS device, but having the Print Scout allows me to get jobs into the system from my Windows machine. And so from here, I go through what we call a setup guide. And this is something that that can be introduced to the end users. We can send them an email invitation for this. Depending on the authentication type that we're going to use, this can actually fire up the first time the user submits a print job if we want to configure the environment in that fashion. But the real key is just that I have to tie my phone to the Century app. It walks me through this process, printing a test page, activating my mobile device, and then releasing the job. So I can go from here. It gives me the option to make the secure printer my default printer, and then it allows me to submit a test page into the Century Print system. So this job will be just a basic test page, but it'll be rendered in the Beacon environment, so it's available for release at any of the devices. And then regardless of which release mechanism I use, whether it's QR code, whether it's the on-screen or swiping a card at the device, that print job will come through in the system there. It's sitting behind my screen here, and I just didn't see it because the GoToMeeting thing was popping up. So that's a user error. We'll blame it on that. So I fired my job off here. It's going to be in the system, and then it's going to prompt me to register my mobile device to my identity on my workstation here. So I'll wait for that prompt to come up. There we go. My job's now held, waiting for printing. Go ahead and reconnect my phone. Move that out of the way. All right, so it displays a QR code for me, which when I open up the Century Print app on my phone, it says it's the first time I'm using the app. I need to go ahead and scan the QR code on my screen on my setup guide. I can go ahead and scan, give it permission to use the camera, and then simply just show it that QR code that's on the screen. That'll go through and perform that registration. So now I have the option of releasing jobs or printing jobs for my mobile. In this case, I have my test job sitting in the system. So I'll go ahead and try to release that. I'll choose that option. And now it wants me to scan the QR code for the printer. And in this case, I have the QR code just printed out on my screen here. Oh, it actually picked it up that quickly. I didn't even get the camera directly over the QR code. It just kind of sensed it into the background there. But I essentially have this QR label that is printed out and affixed to the printer. This is just the PDF version of it before I've actually printed it out. And you'll hear in the background now, I don't know if you can see, my printer is going and generating that print job out. In this case, I'm just working from my home office. This is just a little Epson printer that I picked up from Walmart, so it's not a advanced office printer or anything along those lines. The QR release mechanism with Beacon allows you, let's grab that job, allows you to really leverage any print job that's in the environment. And I have my test job there, so I think we're successful here in the demo. That went exactly as it should have. So
thanks to John for going through that demo, answering all those questions. If you have more questions or you want to talk with us one-on-one, we would love to. Please reach out. Otherwise, stay safe, stay healthy, and make sure you use those contactless, touchless methods whenever possible. All right, thanks for joining our webinar. Hopefully we'll talk to you all soon.